This YouTube presentation is related to the possibilities of high-speed films with 4,000 pictures per second based on Richard Wolf Enducam 5562 equipment. To make you understand how complex the vocal fold movements are, we show you how tissue-engineered vocal folds move in a sliced stroke of a pig. In the same paper, an illustration is given and how complex it is to position your camera to see all the movements. Here are programs that use high-speed films, respectively from Richard Wolf, Vivusys, and Erlanger. A recording is shown of a patient with reflux with the edema of the arytenoid region. The male pubertal voice is extremely interesting, and it is difficult to catch marking of the 4 registers. It is easily seen with voice analysis based on voice range profiles, where registers can be defined. This is a normal full register, and in the middle picture a little reflux is seen. The diagnosis based on insufficiency of closure of the rear part of the vocal folds in full register and slight swelling of the arytenoids. And lastly, an upper register as pitch rises in this register. The vocal folds are lengthened, tension increases, and their edges become thinner. It is possible to use high-speed films directly to analyze vocal folds movements in opposition to stroboscopy videos where not all movements are catched up. Here is an example of how we use consecutive pictures to be analyzed with deep learning software. In this software, we have only defined the insufficiency of the rear vocal folds. It is demonstrated in the Danish weekly paper, Ugeskrift for Læger, which you can find on the website mettepedersen.org. The deep learning analysis was based on a glottal analysis tool, GAT for short, measure as seen at the bottom of the image. With high-speed film, it is possible to define how the vocal folds add to each other and how they disappear from each other, as seen on the chirography. In many pathological cases, this is extremely important to evaluate. You can see hard and soft attacks directly. This is a soft attack. Here is an example of vocal folds with a polyp on the left fold. It is analyzed using the Glottis Analysis Tools program with a representation of single movements and a supplementary phonovibrogram that shows the contact area between the vocal folds in red. The videos of the vocal folds are unusable for deep learning, and here is a list of the 8 most common reasons to why that is. The table shows which parameters that are mostly used to analyze Parkinson's disease. As a matter of fact, this overview can be used in many other connections. Praat is the name of a well-known speech and voice analyzer, which also includes deep learning. The accuracy as far as measurements of the movements of the vocal folds is not sufficient to be compared with high-speed films. The analysis of fundamental frequency and some of the above-mentioned voice analysis is theoretically interesting. Praat is mostly used by people interested in speech and not voice. As for analysis of voice, we present Glottis Analysis Tools with many possibilities of analyzing, which includes acoustical measurements, glottal area waveforms of the vocal folds, phonovibrograms of the vocal folds, and trajectories, which is the distance between the vocal folds. It can be adjusted depending on where in the glottis you want to measure. When it comes to specific analysis of the vocal folds usable for voice as a biomarker, this app presents results of inverse filtering with several data presenting parts of the vocal fold movements. In this presentation, there have been introduced how we use high-speed films. As a routine, we analyze distances between vocal folds in the front, in the middle, and in the back, as well as chirography using H-Res Enducam. For supplementary analysis, we use the Glottis Analysis program for basic acoustical measurements of fundamental frequency, etc. We also use it for phonovibrogram to show the contact area between the vocal folds. We have also presented Praat, which is mostly used for speech analysis, and an app for quantitative vocal fold analysis called Online Lab by Voice Clinical Systems. Thank you for listening.